There's a bold new idea that's taking root in Tulsa. It's called community schools, and it promises to plant seeds for improving success for many public schools, their students, and their families all across Tulsa County.
These are annuals, so they won't last in the winter. So they're best to get rid of.
Today I'm planting squash, broccoli, beans, and kale.
This is the Global Garden at Eugene Field Elementary, and it's one part of the Community Schools Initiative. This garden engages kids on all levels. It engages their curiosity. It's a place where they can be motivated. It's a place where they can experiment and have fun and learn how to ask questions, not be afraid to make mistakes, be creative. They're learning science. They're learning how to ask questions, how to think like scientists, but they're also learning how to work together in a community, and then they're learning individual responsibility. And they have the opportunity to make their own choices about what they're growing. So it's their project and they own each little garden, and they're so proud of it. We experiment with cooking, we experiment with growing, and in addition, we make the community a better place, and they know that too.
Experiences like this are just one aspect of the community schools concept, a multifaceted approach to make every moment a learning opportunity. Tulsa's Community Schools program is a part of a national initiative to redesign and transform our schools into community centers, places that benefit students and their families and neighbors right where they live in their very own neighborhood.
Community schools are growing all over the country. We have work going on in Chicago, in Portland, in Lincoln, in Evansville, in Baltimore, in New York, in Philadelphia. People are trying to figure out ways to respond to a wide array of needs of young people as we try to educate them. And what community school leaders and advocates recognize is that young people are whole human beings. And in order for us to educate them, surely we have to respond to their academic needs. Surely they have to read and compute and do science. But they're whole people. So in some circumstances, we have to worry about their health. We have to worry about giving them other opportunities to learn and grow. We have to worry about giving them mentors and other kinds of support.
What we found in Baltimore was that the ideas around community schools were alive already in the community. Parents wanted services and activities in the building. Community residents want their schools to be essential, vital hubs of the community. However, the name community schools and the infrastructure to make it work was not present. In order to bring that, we needed to do the kinds of planning and development that you've done here in Tulsa.
There are 18 sites within the Tulsa and Union public school districts, all elementary schools. More experienced schools are enhancing their efforts while helping newly developing sites get underway. Many community leaders are playing vital roles in shaping Tulsa's rapid progress.
Step Up Tulsa was a community planning process in 2005 and early 2006. And of course, education is one of the critical goals that came out of the process. Well, at that time, community schools was a concept. It was already in existence in other parts of the country, but it was a fairly new phenomenon in Tulsa. And once we learned about community schools, we really adopted it.
The City of Tulsa is a leading partner in community schools because what we know is it is the most important thing that we do. Without access to quality education for our kids, our community won't grow. And to have a quality education, they need to have access to healthcare resources. They need to have access to life skills, to mentoring, a positive environment, a coat on their back and food in their stomach.
When students are hungry or when they are not properly fed or when they need other services, we know that it's a benefit academically in the classroom for those students to receive those services. So by partnering with outside agencies and opening ourselves up to understanding the needs of the whole child and his family and community, we think we're a more integral part of that child's life and we can be more effective in the classroom.
For many, community schools is a life-changing experience. It's obviously a life-changing experience for the child whose needs are being met and whose life is being impacted by caring adults and all of the different groups that come together to impact that child, taking care of their needs so that they can become educated. It also can be a life-changing experience for adults and for agencies who get involved in community schools and who help to meet those needs. And it takes all of those different groups coming together, whether it be nutritional needs, whether it be physical needs, whether it be medical needs, emotional needs, and for agencies and individuals who contribute to that, it also, I believe, meets an inner need that we all have to serve children.
To assure that our community schools program lives up to expectations, it will be directed through the Tulsa Area Community Schools Initiative, or Tacsi. Tacsi will be supported by a resource center and staff that coordinates all components of the initiative and monitors results to keep it on track. The community schools approach builds upon a strong instructional program that advances students' expectations and pride in their accomplishments. It is designed to address critical barriers to learning that too often prevent or limit progress. Schools alone can't fix these barriers, which range from poverty and illiteracy to substance abuse and poor health.
One of the community schools components that we have includes comprehensive early childhood programs for students ages 3, 4, and a parent educator that serves families that have children birthed to school age. We also host an OU Bedlam clinic that provides comprehensive health services for our families right here in the school setting. We also are developing comprehensive out-of-school time programs so that kids in the neighborhood are safe before school, after school, anytime that school is not in session.
With a focus on these barriers, a real difference is being made. For example, the impact of OU Bedlam clinics on health conditions and more.
The first day of school this year, I had a little boy come in, straight off of the bus. He came in and he was crying with his ear hurting. And so I looked in his ear. It looked horrible. It was really red, and he had fever. He was not a clinic patient, but I called his mom because he was new to our school. And so Mom came for the appointment. The doctor looked in the ear. Sure enough, there was an ear infection there, needed an antibiotic, was placed on an antibiotic. The child was in so much pain, they had to go home for that day. But the child was back in school the next day and had been complaining with an earache for 2 weeks. And had been very uncomfortable. But they couldn't afford to go to that emergency room and end up with a $1,000 doctor bill. It's just unbelievable how many times that kids are putting up with things that can be fixed.
Although these opportunities and resources are important, the goals are even more so. They go beyond the guidelines of No Child Left Behind to promote school readiness for kids and instill behaviors that nurture a lifetime of success for every family member.
We hear parents talk to us about, oh my goodness, my child was now wanting to eat vegetables than he never did before, or do you know I've had to change my way of cooking. I can no longer fry foods, I'm having to bake foods. So we're really seeing an impact in that respect, that they are making a change in their lifestyle.
The reason I am so excited about community schools is because it gives every person an opportunity to be at the education table and make a difference in providing quality education. Whether it's our firefighters who are mentoring students in neighborhood schools, it's our public works department helping with neighborhood inspections, it's our law enforcement officers, or every ordinary citizens. Our physicians are helping with healthcare facilities in our schools. It enables the community to come together and everyone be a partner in moving education in community schools forward.
The community schools concept is a big idea that can help quality of life in neighborhoods across Tulsa in many ways. The seeds have been planted, but to make sure that it really takes root, we will need to nourish it with support from a broad base of community leaders, funding from public and private sources, and from time to time, just a little drink of water.